So I think one of the really interesting things that you focus on is people rather than profits. So, I mean, clearly, obviously, it's been 5 years, you haven't had a company. But so how have you tried to achieve this? Like, how have you, in practice, when you're running a company, how do you manage in practice to focus on people, not profits, when clearly you can't operate without them?
I dispute that, actually, that you can't operate without profits. Because I think there's different sides of profits. There's profit is defined as financial gain, and then there's profit, which is in terms of advantage or benefit, if something profits another. And I've always seen profit and finances as part of the value spectrum. And I think that within society, we've conflated money and profit as the ends rather than the means. So profit is only as useful as what it's spent on. And I think that there's a really good argument for having less profit. You know, if we were basing all of our lives designing on profit, we'd never give any money away to charity, would we? Because it doesn't make financial or fiduciary sense. But there's a value to that is not measured on a balance sheet there. There's a benefit, a profit to you in your sense of giving to the world, and there's a benefit out there as well. So first of all, I kind of challenge the whole system and how that's all set up. But the really good news is that when one focuses on serving others, then the science shows that if you want to be happy, then the best thing you can do is focus on other people's happiness. If you want to be profitable, focus on profiting others. And so the more that we can design businesses around serving others rather than our own organizational objectives, paradoxically, the more likely we are to turn a profit.
So you would suggest that companies in general maybe seek to have a broader approach to what profit is?
Yeah. What does success mean to us? What does success mean to you? And can we just all be silent together for 30 seconds just to reflect on that question? What does success mean to you? Can we do that?
I mean, yes.
Is that cool? Because I think it's such a fundamental question in response to your question of why people and profit. Can we do that?
Are you going to ask them?
Yeah.
Right.
What does success mean to you? Can we just all be silent? If you feel comfortable doing so, close your eyes, breathe into your body, and just reflect on that question. What does success mean to you? No agenda other than reflecting on that question. Can we do that? Is that cool? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Okay, what were just a couple of things that came out from people?
Just being able to live the life I want to live.
Okay, great.
Just get up every day and work myself and do what I do.
Great. So a sense of independence. Yeah.
I was actually thinking about your story when your wife was pregnant.
Yeah.
We've just had our second child.
Congratulations.
Until she was born, I was working 4 days a week.
Yeah.
I've had to go back to 5 days. Wife's maternity. But actually, that's probably more important to me than how much profit we're going to make this year.
Yeah.
And it really kind of focuses the mind, doesn't it?
It does. And so I think that when companies really reflect on this question of what does success mean to us, the answer is not always going to be defined in terms of profit. And what does it mean to grow? What does growth mean to us? And it's not always reflected. I think it's really interesting to understand the story behind the numbers, because if it means that your household income diminishes, I gave away £1 million company, But do I feel poor because of it? Because I am able to be present at home with my children and be there for bath time and these other things. I feel like the richest guy in the world. So there are very few people that I've asked that question, or what is of most value to you, who would answer in terms of profit or financial metrics. It would be in terms of relationships, in terms of memories, and the most important things in life aren't things, someone wise once said. And so people is where the profit is, and a profit not just in the financial sense, but in terms of benefit and an advantage. And so if we then design our company strategies around that, we get people, like staff, feeling, wow, they've just had another baby. I'm not just going to try and rinse you to get my bottom line sorted, because guess what? You won't feel happy and fulfilled. You'll be going, my employee turnover will increase. If I make you feel valued because I actually value you, you're going to feel good and motivated and work your backside off, and we'll get just as much out of you in 3 days that we would have in 5 anyway.
Do you think companies are getting better at this?
I think that there is an awakening to this.
There's more. It feels like there's more flexibility nowadays about what companies will and won't let you do. Like you can work from home. I think Cornwall's always been pretty good at it. Yeah. But I do think it's getting better.
There seems to be a movement around it. I mean, even I heard that they're looking towards 4-day schooling weeks as well soon, or 4.5-day schooling weeks, which I personally think is still too much. And definitely shouldn't start at 9 in the morning. So I think that, at every section of society, there is an awakening to that working hard doesn't equal working smart. And that there are moments in our day and in our lives when we are most productive, most creative, most fulfilled. And if we are able to be with the things and the people that are of most value to us, then we feel more productive, and there's enlightened self-interest. So again, this kind of good people, good food, Canteen's philosophy and motto, there's an enlightened self-interest. If you're a good person if you're a good person, yes, that's a nice thing to do, but it's enlightened self-interest. And there's an evolutionary argument to that as well. How we developed as a species was not just in survival of the fittest and competing with each other, it's in forming symbiotic relationships, helping each other out. And so if we're good for each other, the chances are we're more likely to get cooperation, and when the shit hits the fan, they're going to be having our backs there as well. And that's what we see that's where brand loyalty comes from as well. So that social outreach that they did, and we couldn't get past our HR department or other department, but we determined to do it anyway. Suddenly that's the thing that helps us when the going gets really tough.